All right. So I believe we left off with Havelock and Vern having their discussion about pickpocketing keys and going off to meet Rain.
I believe so.
Okay. And then, well, Vern, it's your show.
Hello? Is this thing working?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I had got a hiccup in my head. Sorry. So, I don't know what you said at the end.
It's your show. So we had established that Vern was going to ask Maxwell's the Havelock to go get some keys for him, while he was going to go off and do what exactly while the keys were getting procured.
My job was to cause a distraction so he could get the keys.
Ah, right. Okay.
So, at this point, I do believe I'm looking for Ogar. The perfect distraction.
Well, it should never be too hard to follow the vibrations of the bouncing.
Also, I would say to Havelock that he probably should stay near. So, you never know when the thing goes off.
Well, Havelock, you've been requested to stay near to Vern.
I will oblige.
Well, Maxwell, being the consummate friend, will also oblige. And where is Mr. Bouncer right now?
Library.
In the library? Oh, there is Token. Okay. Let's see, who else should we have in the library? Nice. In the library. Yes, he can be in the library. Okay. You know what? He'll be in the library too. To the library!
To the library.
Shall I move Havelock for you, Fungi? Oh, Fungi apparently needs a moment. Blast and Ruination. Well, since Fungi's kind of integral to this scene, I was just about to ask Jess. What was that? I heard a sound.
I don't know. There's a lot of sounds going on in the world.
I heard a sound through my headset.
Well, still a lot of things going on.
Oh, God damn it.
What kind of sound?
I'm not sure because I was talking. Probably a Frosty is picking up all the sounds in his apartment as he glugs on stuff sound.
Yeah, possible. I was taking a drink when you said it. So, is this possible?
The craziness ensues.
Insanity, not craziness.
Fair enough. Rain, you're in your room. So, is that Fungi being back?
Back.
Ah!
Achtung, Fungi.
Oh. To the library.
To the library. So I would eventually find Ogar.
What is Ogar up to in the library?
He's reading a book normally, which is strange.
It is strange because it's not strange. But strange is normal to him.
Okay. Also in the library is Mason Wright Dreth, who is usually in the library. He does like the books and the charts and the papers. And also, Zoltan and Gaziv. I was just going to go Gaziv. We'll use his fucking first name. Gaziv and Zoltan are also in the library. And presently seem to be discussing military tactics. Or at least that's what Zoltan sounds like he's discussing, while Gaziv is kind of just...
Huh.
So, traditional elderly Englishman.
I don't know if he's English, but he's certainly a commissar, because he seems very upset that he doesn't have a pistol. He keeps clutching at an imaginary holster.
Vern goes... I assume Ogars is sitting on some kind of desk or table to reading, since this is a library.
So Ogar is sitting on the desk or table. Is that true, Bob?
Yes.
Excellent.
Ogar? Ogar.
Ah, Mr. Castus. How are you?
I'm fine. But... I was wondering, would you be willing to do me a little favor?
Oh?
You see, we need a little bit of distraction. And you were so kind earlier to mention that you would be willing to help.
And you sort of blew me off.
Well, I didn't have a news at that moment. What do you expect? You're
Lady
crazy.
V did. Mr. Castus, we are all crazy in our own ways. And Lady V did say you would be like this.
Yes, the voice in your head. Of course.
You didn't used to always be there.
Anyway. Just... Can you do a favor? Yes or no?
Only if I get something in return.
And what would that be?
Depends on what the favor is. Quid pro quo. Balancing of the scales and all that.
You stay out of this, Commissioner Jethro Hardings. All we need you to do is to, well, stop an orderly for a moment and cause a distraction that causes him to chase you.
Oh, I can do that easily.
By the way, I probably should note that Vern has been trying to use a hushed voice. Not that everyone in the library can hear him.
Fair enough.
I can do this easily, Mr. Vern. Mr. Castus. And the return for this is something rather simple that you can do right now.
Vern rubs his... what's it called? The bridge of his nose with his two fingers around the eye sockets. And that would be...
Simple. make a vow and a promise to the Eternal Emperor and to Lady V that you'll be a much nicer person and that you will make friends with Ogar.
You are really dramatic, did you know that?
It gets ever so boring here. And I would do this as you wish, as soon as you need it, but you must make this vow and this promise first.
Give me a quick roll, Frosty. You don't know what it is or what the DC is.
Probably not, but
Okay, and where did your character sheet go? Is this it? Yes, it is. Okay. Lucky you. All right, I'm going to send you a quick message in private.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Maxwell and Havelock have been overhearing your conversation. Havelock, I'm going to ask you to also roll a willpower roll.
Waiting for the message.
There you go. Sent you a message in Talks.
Talks? You mean TeamSpeak?
Yes, that other T word. So Havelock, let us just double check. Your willpower is weak, so absolutely you are going to want to steal something from Mason Wright Dreth as he's hunched over in his books and not paying any attention to anything but his books. What is it that you'd like to steal from him?
He's not one of the bad commissars, is he?
No. This is the architect who doesn't speak.
Right. Well, could you describe what he has?
Well, he is in rather scribe-like clothing. So he has an assortment of like compasses and tools and whatnot that he utilizes to create his maps and his blueprints. And he even has some other tools for when he creates structures, like miniature models and whatnot, and keeps those with him at all times. He also has a stack of books that are next to him that he seems to have been either going to consult or has already consulted. And if you are feeling particularly daring, though you didn't get a critical failure, he has also got an assortment of writing utensils that he is presently using, switching between them on a fairly regular basis as he's working on whatever project he happens to be working on.
What about his glasses?
He also has glasses, yes. What was that, Fungi?
Does he have any super glue?
Give me a perception roll. Oh, yes. You see that he actually has an assortment of different glues that he is not presently paying attention to. And they're all just sitting right there in front of you.
Well, I'll be taking some nice, powerful super glue then, the kind that can be used to glue just about anything to anything, and particularly good at sticking to skin.
And just to let you know, we seem to be getting a bit of echo with your audio. Is your microphone far away from your mouth?
This is my brand new headset is still echoing.
Well, that's a lot better.
Fucking bullshit, man. This is bullshit.
Is the gain backwards, maybe? Talking into the back of it?
What?
Is it monodirectional or omnidirectional?
The microphone, it's on my head. That's all I know. I don't know what direction. It's a microphone.
Is it spongy or is it hard?
Hard.
Then it should be monodirectional. Oh well. But yeah, so was you're going to steal all the glue you can, or just a particular glue, or
Just the single super glue.
all right? Give us your pickpockety sleight of hand roll.
The gorilla glue.
Well,
Well, I hope this doesn't confirm. Gosh.
So pretty much just as Havelock is reaching for it, Mason Wright is reaching back behind him to basically just scratch his back, and your hands brush against each other. He immediately leaps up, turns around, makes a very, very faint yelp sound, and basically just pushes his back up against his desk, knocking all sorts of stuff over.
I'm going to brush my hands against each other and go, "Ha! Got it! Bastard flies! They get everywhere, don't they?"
Give us your roll for lying. Frosty and Abobob, Ogar and Vern, there's now a big old distraction going on in the library.
I don't give a damn about that, but I'm not really big on vows, but I can promise you that I won't brush you off the remainder of time. That I'm willing to do.
Okay. Again, before you guys get much further, the commissar jogs past you and then is followed by Zoltan to find out what the commotion was. You're all rather close now.
Mm-hmm.
I would still prefer to have that vow.
Where is my dice?
All right. So in the moments that Vern is humming and hawing with Ogar, Gazev is pointing at the commotion, while Zoltan behind just sort of wanders around and starts scooping up the various papers and documents to just try and be a bit helpful.
So, Vern will say to Ogar, Vern has been trying to be pleasant, but pretty much this Ogar's foolishness is too much.
Grating on him?
Yeah, grating. So he will take a sterner look on his face and he will say to Ogar, I'm trying to be reasonable here. I could force you to do whatever I want, but I'd rather not make enemies, and I'm trying to be so polite here. So would you be so kind? And Vern stares at Ogar.
Sorry, I was completely distracted. What did I miss?
Is that in character?
No, that's out of character. I'm sorry.
Basically, Vern was telling Ogar that he's sick of his shit, and either Ogar cooperates of his own free will, or Vern makes him cooperate, because this has been Vern being polite.
Mm-hmm. He's still offering him the deal of not brushing him off so easily, but this is the last chance. Because if you say no now, Vern will take your tongue and make it into a bow.
Well, yes, if that's as much as I can get, that's as much as I can get. And Ogar will get off desk he's sitting on and immediately start to strip.
While Ogar is stripping, Zoltan picks up one of the particular documents, discards the rest, and slams his hand down on the desk, points an accusing finger at Mikkel, and says, "Where did you get this?" Does anyone care, or are you guys just going to let that happen?
Vern will turn a look.
I will try and take that glue again.
Give us another roll.
Do I see what he's
my
pointing
These flies, I'm telling you, they're bloody everywhere.
Well, basically, Havelock, as you're getting closer to Mikkel, Zoltan will point at Havelock and say, "No, stay away from him. He's tainted."
What is
And this,
he?
of course-
What is Sultan pointing at?
Well, Zoltan first pointed at Havelock, telling Havelock to get away from Mikkel, while Zoltan is gripping a parchment very tightly in his other fist. Neotchok, hearing what Zoltan just said, kind of musters his way on over to Mikkel, and is like, "Oh, you can tell he wish he had a pistol right now to put up against the back of this man's head, but at the moment he's just threatening to strangle him or punch him, alternatively. But Zoltan says, "No, stay your hand. I need to interrogate the man first." Mikkel, through all of this, is just utterly flabbergasted, terrified. He doesn't even know what document that Zoltan's all upset about.
I think you're just being awfully beastly to this man. What's he done? What's so unpleasant about this? I'll start rifling through the papers.
Well, the papers on the floor apparently don't matter to Zoltan, but he does say, "Begone, little imp," and he just sort of gives a backhanded motion for you to be dismissed. To which Maxwell will say, "Oh, now, you don't speak to a nobleman with such tone." And Zoltan will then point to Maxwell, saying, "I am above you petty nobles. I am..." Oh, actually, I should just quickly roll willpower privately. Oh, what a fail. He will say, "I am one of the Emperor's sons. I am an Astartes, and I will not be bossed around by some little mortal."
So what you are is bloody insane.
In any event,
Havelock?
that Vern wants to get in on this.
Havelock, I think Astartes is correct, and maybe you should go somewhere else. I mean, I'm sure you have something more important to do.
I'll look at Vern and just narrow his eyes and just go, "That's how it is, huh? Very well. Maxwell, to the games room. I want a brandy."
Oh, well.
God, are you so fucking stupid? God.
Well, I say.
Well, can't be helped that somebody is so stupid.
Did I hear Vern say that?
Well, Vern, how loud did you say it?
It was probably mumbling, half voice.
Okay. Well, one of the nearby orderlies comes in as well. So, apparently Havelock heard it well enough.
In that case, as he's walking away, he'll just kind of wave a hand and go, "Not stupid, dear boy. Noble. Very different."
Vern can't do anything else except grin for that comment.
But an orderly comes in and asks what's the matter here. Zoltan tells her to stand aside. This is a matter for the Adeptus Astartes. And it's basically just trying to get her out of the way so he can proceed with the interrogation of Mikkel. Of course, at this point, Gazev's kind of scratching his head and looking at Zoltan like, a bit small for an Astartes, isn't he? Of course, the only way that Gazev can speak right now is... So is Vern just dismissing himself from this entire event, or is he
going
get
after Havelock, but trying not to, cause too much attention? Maybe concealment, maybe role, to try to move, without getting attention from orderly or the others.
Sure, go ahead.
I think that can.
Vern is a sneaky son of a bitch. In fact, Ogar might even lose track of you as he's pulling a shirt or robe over his head. Bob, what's the situation with Ogar?
He is, I would say, probably the basic of basic herbs. Whatever that would be in the 40k universe.
I'm sure there'd be an equivalent to underwear, even if it's like just boxers.
Oh no, Ogar goes commando.
Oh, so he's completely nude.
Yes.
But with that, would Vern be able to leave the room without being noticed?
That's what I was asking Ogar, if Ogar is going to be paying enough attention to watch Vern leave. Because the others are pretty much completely obsessed with their present situation. Vern is of no consequence.
Well, he asked me to cause a distraction, but he didn't say exactly orderly, so I'm just going to follow him nude. Unless I need to roll an awareness for that.
If you'd like. Vern has completely disappeared. He is a ghost.
I suddenly got this weird, strange idea. Instead of keeping an eye on Vern, just suddenly start doing a jig as I undress.
I'm a little ogre. I'm a little ogre.
Just thinking of little Ogar now. Oh, dear me. The orderly at this point is trying to tell the other orderlies over her microbead that she needs some assistance in the library. Ogar is naked again, and Zoltan's claiming to be in Astartes. And so, yeah, there's a bit of a situation going on there.
Vern is trying to catch up Havelock and Maxwell.
Well, Havelock is short of stature, so he cannot run very quickly. Well, actually, he could run very quickly if he wanted to. Or would he be walking like a nobleman?
Oh, he is sauntering like a noble.
Okay, what the fuck, Bob? That does not even work. That is impossible. This is not Fatal. We're not playing Fatal. Okay, that in like millimeters, maybe.
It's not a meter long.
I honestly was not expected to roll that high.
But would Vern be able to catch up with Havelock and Maxwell?
Most likely before he even leaves the room.
Well, he would have. I don't know. Possibly. But Vern would go after them and come to them. And would they be paying attention to him or?
Well, Maxwell has his nose raised to snub the commoner.
Havelock?
Yes?
What I was trying to say there was this might be an opportunity. Get the ogre to make the distraction and get the key card. I'm sorry if I've offended you. But...
Well, I wouldn't expect one such as yourself to understand the finer social matters. But don't worry, I wasn't intending to leave you at this adventure of yours. I just felt that bouncing naked man over there is, well, not something I like to spend time around.
I don't like the idea either.
I agree, it is quite the distraction.
But this might be the perfect time. What I heard was that he was ordering more orderlies to secure the situation.
Out of character question.
Mm-hmm.
So the keys have a proximity device that makes them go beep 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 if they're removed from the person.
Correct.
And does the key itself beep, or does the person beep?
The person beeps. And also, the head office receives a signal saying a key card has been removed from an orderly's person.
Okay. Well, we can make this work. I have 2 tasks of you then. 1, increase the distraction, and 2, be ready to take this when I give it to you.
All right. Well, coming down the hall from the north are 3 more orderlies, rather rapidly.
Havelock is going to turn to Maxwell and say, I wager 10,000 thrones you can't hold those 3 out for 30 seconds.
Pah! He will step forward immediately, and he just sort of scoffs at Havelock like, oh, please. And as they're approaching, he will spread his arms wide and say, lady and gentlemen, and just sort of go into his public speaking voice about some kind of political mumbo jumbo. And I'm going to do a blather roll for him.
Well, he's getting no fucking money.
Well,
or it's going to be all right. Well, one of the orderlies stops to try and handle him as he apparently starts speaking in tongues, while the other 2 push past.
Vern is seeing them coming, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, he will go back to the room. And what's the situation in the room?
The orderly is at this point basically holding Zoltan back from jumping on Mikkel, while Gazev strokes his chin rather pensively, wondering, this Zoltan fellow, I'm fairly sure he's not an Astartes. I think he's not. I hope he's not. He's such a tiny Astartes. Of course, he's not saying any of this. He is going. Meanwhile, Ogar's just dancing naked. Is that a Bob?
He's doing a small little jig. That's how he got so distracted.
Vern will go back in and go to Ogre. Ogre? He will say in the low, hushed voice. Why don't you give Mr. Nescott a hug? He seems so grumpy. He could use a friend.
Oh, which one of these is this?
The Commissar.
Oh. Okay.
Roll. I was going to say roll and tell. Oh, weapon skill for the hug. I'm going to roll his perception to see if you surprise him.
No one expects a naked Ogar.
Especially not the fleet commissar. All right,
naked Ogar, the Imperium's deadliest weapon.
Okay, there is now a naked Ogar hugging the fleet commissar who is spazzing out at this. As Mikkel is just utterly flabbergasted. The orderly's like, oh, thank the throne. Help me press this and stop that, whatever that is. Wait, I thought I said 3 of you were coming. And one of the orderlies will say, Esmeralda got tied up with Maxwell out in the corridor. And they're going to split up and get to work. Havelock, what have you been up to?
I have been tailing this man. Looking for his keys.
Well, they do keep them basically in a side pouch that has a kind of a snap latch to it.
Is there any way I can give myself a bonus to the roll, like by spending that time following him, looking at how the thing works, how I can get the thing, and then lift the thing, get the thing, throw it, and then run?
Yes, you're taking a little bit of effort to get into this, so yeah, you'll get a slight bonus.
Bonus. All right. Going to give Vern a look like shit's about to go down. Are you ready?
Just one thing before you do that roll.
Typey type. I think he might be sending me a private message. How goes Maria and Jethro, Jess? Oh, looks like Jess can't do audio anymore. No. She's not dead. Not yet, anyway.
Dun 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 dun.
Give me a charm roll for your wooing of Maria. Oh, Vern. Oh, my.
They wanted the shit to be started.
Yes, indeed. I've always kind of wondered what kind of role this would be, because the rules are a little ambiguous. When you're being a shit disturber, it's not really a charm, not a command. It's not really deceive either. It's such a frustrating kind of thing. Honestly, it's kind of an intimidate in a way. It's an aggravation. So I'm going to say this is going to be fellowship-based. Oh, who did we get in here?
Hello?
Ryu just joined us apparently. Yeah. So I'm going to say your fellowship, but you'll get your full bonus from your disturbing intimidation. However, if you fail, he's going to turn his attention to you rather than. It's not being live streamed. It's it's being recorded for later. Sorry. And just use this opportunity. I'll be 10 more minutes, and then we'll be taking a break for about half hour to 45 minutes as I pick up my wife and come back.
Okay. Yes! I do believe that's a success.
It is, but oh my goodness, that's a critical failure. Oh, and the brawl begins. Zoltan is going to say, "In the name of the Emperor, this will not stand," and is going to basically throw a curved punch where he's going to try and hit both the orderlies with a single big old curvature punch. I'm not sure what word.
Double punch.
And utter failure, but shit's on. So you know what? Just give me your agility roll, or sorry, your initiative rolls real quick, just to see how this pans out.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what plus I'm getting, so I just rolled the basic 10.
Yeah. So, does Havoc strike you as someone who's paranoid?
Probably not. I mean, if he's ever got in trouble for stealing stuff, he just goes, "Oh, no, here's a purse of money. Just go away."
Somebody's mugging him. Me or money? Okay. What? Okay.
Where did my
I
knife go?
stop to leave, and he pickpockets back.
Hey, yours some money? Oh, if you insist. I mean, I'm not using this one, but there you go.
Ogar, did you roll?
Bobo?
I don't
And is
know my
Ogar
agility.
paranoid?
I don't know. I don't have an Ogar sheet.
You just tell me.
I would.
Did anyone hear what a Bobob said? Oh, there he is.
I'm gonna say he's probably so crazy he's not paranoid.
Okay, so give us your roll. Okay.
I don't know any bonuses I may or may not have.
Makes sense that he is giving a hug at the moment.
And, someone I hear to Blings. Justice sending 3/4 of army killed. Charge while we have the numbers advantage.
If Olgar needs to, Olgar will commence the rubbing.
Well, it's up to Olgar. Olgar can think for himself.
Okay. So Zoltan apparently basically invokes the Emperor as if he were actually an Adeptus Astartes. But the orderlies don't give a fuck. They're like, no, bad, no. And the orderlies in turn try to wrestle him, but at the moment it's just sort of a back and forth. Hadlock.
So the guy who tried to punch them, how did they? I mean, like, so they weren't punched, were they?
No, it's basically just spasming arms at the moment.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna stand there, and then I'm gonna try and do the deed.
Do the deed.
Yeah, nothing to type. That works.
All right. So, and Havelock, I assume you keep the key card close to the orderly until you pass it off to Vern?
Yes.
Okay. Ogar, what are you up to?
How's Gaziv holding out during the middle of this naked hug time?
He's not happy. And again, he's never happy. Actually,
he just needs a friend.
You know what? Roll me a charm roll.
All you need is friend.
Wow. You know what? This is going to be an interesting situation here. Success on willpower. He's still utterly full of rage and contempt. Failure on willpower, he'll be just sort of weirded out. Critical failure on willpower, you will have cured him of his insatiable rage.
Because all he needed was a hug.
That's a failure, so he's just kind of like trying to push you away at the moment, but he's not trying to murderize you.
Come on, Gaziv. I know all you need is a hug to calm down.
Of course, the orderly's trying to break you apart too, so that'll have to happen next round. Vern.
Oh, I'm just minding my own business, trying to walk casually. Here. I'll even give a concealment to try to make it so that people don't pay attention. If that's okay.
Yep, go right ahead. Very nice roll, sir. All right, so Zoltan's not doing so hot. Orderlies. They're still having some trouble restraining him, though. The Olgar situation pretty much is going to be getting separated pretty shortly, though. Havelock?
We'll just look to Vern. Kind of look down at hand, look back to Vern. Basically hold it. Okay, fine. Pass it to Vern.
Vern has keycard. What is Havelock going to do immediately after Vern has keycard?
He's going to say, "You're going to owe me after this," and he's going to sprint out the room.
The littlest ninja away. Vern, will you attempt to stop him from his escape?
I tried to be ambitious and just tried to push him to the orderly, but I don't think I should do that.
Are you trying to like
That
gimp
would
yourself?
cause more. That would cause more of a hassle, which would help me.
That's literally cutting off your nose
you're-
to spite your face.
But yeah, that's the thing. That would gain the, you get angry, you tell where the key is. So I don't think that's advantageous for me, even though that would be
Quite possibly the worst thing you could possibly do.
funny. No, worst thing would be to punch you in the face. But
I don't know. That's just something that he'd expect from a commoner?
anyway, you can run. Vern's not going to stop you.
And Havelock, will you be helping Maxwell with the orderly, or just leaving him to try and talk his way out of it?
As I run past, I'm going to say, I'll expect that check tomorrow.
He'll be a little angry at you, but he'll immediately direct his attention back to the orderly, and you'll scamper away.
Well, I was hoping that people would notice, and then the alarm would go off. Because the whole point was they'd think I would. Okay, well, this is going weirdly.
Well, you've run away, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Vern's still standing next to the orderly. He's still within
You
range.
bastard.
So, Ogar. Remember, the point was Ogar was supposed to run away with the key, so everyone chases Ogar, not Havelock.
Yes.
Yes, well, I
Yes.
thought this would be an even better situation to cause more bloody havoc. Bloody hell, I can't do all that thinking around here.
Well, this didn't go as planned, but
All right,
I
so
have to make
Ogar,
do.
the orderly is splitting you apart. And Mrs. V tells you, run like the wind.
Did I have to see where Havelock went?
Yes. He went that way.
I'm going to chase after Havelock.
You bastard.
Zoidberg away. I mean, Ogar away.
It's flapping free.
How did you know part of my inspiration for Ogar?
So, Vern, as you witness Ogar and Havelock both sprint away, are you going to start moving away from the orderly?
Yes, I will try to do that very quietly and inconspicuously, so they would think that they took the key.
Okay. So, Vern, as you walk out of the room, you'll see Maxwell apologizing to the orderly, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just got caught up in the moment. Oh, I understand you were very busy. There's something going on in there." And as he's saying that, the alarm goes off, and he's like, "Oh my!" And this is the alarm basically for the orderly in the room going beep 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 beep. It's like, "Oh shit, my key card! Fuck, where did Ogar go?" And Maxwell will step away, and the order's like, "Ogar just ran this way!" And she'll start pursuing as well. And Vern, there's also a private message for you.
Okay.
Maxwell is just sort of chuckling at the moment, watching just Havelock disappear around the corner and Ogar disappear around the corner after him. And with that, pause the recording, and when I get back,